Hey everyone, it's Brian Porter. I wanted to talk about this subject that you probably saw in the title, which is back in the wood shop. Now, this has been a very crazy couple weeks for me, about a month and a half or so now from the recording of this video, where we have fired back up the CNC and the sanders and the bandsaws to do some special projects. If you saw our last video, we just finished a special project for Boise State University here in town. We also have a couple other guitars on order. So this has really been an interesting journey for me. If you know anything about our history at Porter Pickups, you know guitar making has been intertwined with our history over the last 15 years. Actually, now it's funny thinking back to, it's been 15 years of this whole journey creating this business, and now here we are again, kind of dipping our toes back in the guitar waters. So one thing I wanted to do is turn the camera on and just talk about it. Talk about getting back into the wood shop. Talk about what that means, maybe what it doesn't mean. There's a bit of a hesitation, I guess, on our end for creating more guitars, but we kind of want to do it as the inspiration comes, as we feel like we want to build. We want to build what we want to build. We want to build it when we can, in the midst of all the pickup stuff, which has kept us very, very busy. So many of you know and have seen, in 2017 we relaunched Porter Guitars. We had the Croesus and the Les Bois model. At that time we just had the Croesus, and then shortly after with the Les Bois model came, which has had several variations to it. We've had a semi-hollow, a Bigsby model, and we'll put some pictures up of the different guitars that we've built. I've always had the bug to make guitars. If there weren't guitars, there wouldn't be pickups. So they're very closely connected, very deeply tied to the passions that I have as someone who started this business. And now here we are, kind of dabbling back into it after about a year and a half or so hiatus. We had some crazy stuff happen through the COVID shutdowns. We went to the 2020 NAMM show. We had a huge display with a bunch of guitars. They were really well received at the show. And then everything kind of hit the fan with COVID and the music industry shut down. And so we really slowed down guitar production in 2020. And throughout the next few years, we kind of built here and there as customers needed them, as music stores needed them. And we got through the last couple of years kind of trying to figure out just how to fit everything together as a business. So ultimately, about a year and a half ago, we kind of hit the pause button on the guitars due to a series of unfortunate circumstances that I won't really get into on this video. But we hit the pause button. We kind of only used the machines really for specialty wood tops, for other things like that. Now with this promotional guitars we just delivered last week with a couple other customer guitars, we're at least getting back there. We're at least sanding stuff. We're going to be spraying stuff. We're going to be doing frets. We're going to be diving back in, and we'll see where it goes. I don't really have a definitive answer on where it's going to go. If anyone's interested in guitars, you can check those out at porterguitars.com. We're not going to be updating the website. A lot of the information that's on there is kind of old. It's prices would probably be a little different than what's posted on the site. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of energy creating and rebuilding things about the website, but you can see past builds that we've done. You can see what the models are all about. You can see variations of the models. And really what we're going to do again is kind of build for fun. We have a couple ideas, building some kit-based guitars, building some full USA custom from raw lumber, which was all the Porter Guitars USA stuff that we did. We even have some kind of hybrid type models where maybe we use a neck and then build a body, or vice versa in some cases. And so we're looking at all of these different angles. All that to say, this is something I want to do as the inspiration is there, as more opportunities show up, if more people are interested. This is something we will do on occasion. We do not have a lot of time to do this. Typically, I'll be the one building most of these guitars or most parts of these guitars. So I've got to fit that in and among all of my other responsibilities as a company owner, an employer, and the things that I have going on at home as well. So it's a bit crazy, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming. I'm just excited to be back into the wood shop, back into building and sanding, and there's just something about that I always have enjoyed and always loved doing. So who knows? Again, this video is not very definitive on an answer, but I'd like to jump over there and show you the two guitars that we're working on currently And I've got a couple more that I've been working on the side. We have some that are in progress as well. I'll talk about those in this video as well. All of our guitar stuff going forward is going to be announced in our newsletter, whether it's a shop demo or available build slots. We're going to take it easy with this. We're just going to do it as we can. They're not going to be cranked out super fast. We're going to take a lot of time to make sure they're right, to make sure we're excited about what's going on. And we just want people who really get what we're doing as a company to buy these guitars. Again, we're not going to be probably making them available in stores anymore. There's a lot of things that dynamically we're trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it is part of the reality in trying to make and sell a product. There's a lot of things to that. So let's jump over to the wood shop, and I will show you a couple of guitars that are in progress. I'll talk about what they are and the options that we're going to put on them. I'm really excited about them, so let's jump over there and check it out. Over here on the guitar bench, we have our Les Bois Custom. This is a semi-hollow. This is going to get a very nice bridge from Schroeder Guitar Hardware. This particular one, we have done some contouring on it. As you can see here, this is just the rough start of the contour. This is a very nice piece of figured maple. I like to choose maple with interesting grain patterns, not just fully flamed all over the place, but some interesting patterns there. This is going to have a ribbon stripe African mahogany back, which you can see is very nice. You can see it moving there in the camera as well. This has probably got another couple hours of sanding on it, but we're building out for a great customer that has been a long-time customer and hit us up and asked about a build, and so we're in progress with that. It is going to get this beautiful transition fade finish, whatever you want to call it. This is actually the top part of this guitar. You can see as it was cut out here. This is the kind of fading into deep blue, sort of the ocean. Call it kind of the Hawaii guitar because it looks like Hawaii. Lighter, transitioning into a deep blue. That's going to come down through the top of the guitar into the bottom. We're real excited about that. Sample turned out super good on the same piece of wood, and obviously this is stained, so it's going to get a clear over the top of that. And then this one features a very nice, so this is kind of a neck in the rough stages. I'll move it right up to the camera so you can see. This is a roasted figured maple, and it's got a laser logo there. This is still in the early carving and cleanup stages, so you can still see some glue spots kind of hanging on the headstock. There's a locator pin. You can see some glue in the nut slot there. All of that gets cleaned up completely before we put the frets in. We kind of give it a final radius, but you can see the rough shaping has already started here. And you can see our heel joint, which is a beautiful logo there, and threaded inserts, which these are a brass insert that goes into each of our guitars. Really creates a really nice neck to body contact. We use a big fat steel base plate, I keep saying base plate because it's the pickup world. The neck plate is a big fat piece of steel that gives it a really good, almost feels like a set neck in resonance. It adds a little bit more to that. But as you can see, this is a really, really nice quarter sawn roasted figured maple. The fretboard's very, very roasted and flamed. You can kind of see it here in the camera. Hopefully that shows up, but that'll pop really nicely once the finish gets on there. So those two will go together as we work that out. And just get something there to prop that up, but you can kind of see the beginnings of the very cool project. Very excited about this one. All right, here is the other guitar that we are building for a customer right now. This is also a Les Bois semi-hollow. This one has all the clear coat on it. You can see it has a really nice shiny top. This is kind of a, I call it blueberry burst, but it's kind of it's got a bluish purple to the outside here, you can see. And a very nice grain enhanced stain. Very cool flame pattern. This one has the natural edge of the maple for the binding, and it also has a very nice mahogany back on it there. And you can see, as I mentioned before, there is a look at our neck plates. This one features a beautiful mahogany neck with a rosewood fretboard. Try to put that to where you can see it. Nice laser logo on the headstock as well. Beautiful piece of Indian rosewood. This neck is probably about 90% of the way there, just into the final sanding stages. And again, we'll put the radius on there and get the frets going. We use all stainless steel frets on all of the guitars. So this one is going to be quite the player, and it's going to get all gold hardware. even gold frets, which I'm really excited to try. I'm really excited to try the gold frets. That's been something I've wanted to try at some point. And even it's going to have our gold foils with the open border and a custom pattern on the inside. So that one is still probably a month or two away from being all the way done, but very excited again about this one coming up. Okay, so for those who are curious about what the Les Bois look like kind of with hardware on it, there's a bunch of guitars I just showed you that don't have hardware strings or anything on them. Here is a look at my personal Koa Les Bois semi-hollow. This one is also a mahogany neck, very dark mahogany on this one. It has an ebony fretboard and a beautiful Koa top. You can see the F-hole there, and our standard volume tone. This one has a bunch of wire. If you look back in our channel, this one has a bunch of cool wiring options. Got a coil split on the bridge. I've got a phase reverse switch on the H90 in the neck. Very, very cool sound. And here's a look at that Schroeder bridge, which I absolutely love those. Love the look of them. And back on this one is Honduran mahogany. So very cool guitars. Very fun to build these guys. If you're interested in them, you can always contact us at info@porterpickups.com. Okay, so that was just a look around the shop, a couple things in progress. If you have any questions about what you saw on this video, put them in the comments below. If you'd like to know more about the guitars, feel free to email us at info@porterpickups.com. That's the best way to reach us and start those discussions. Anything from price to options to, can we do this, can we not do this? There's not a lot of customization other than what we've decided are kind of the core options. So just keep that in mind if you're interested. We'd love to build something for you. We would love to talk about what that looks like. Again, it's going to be as we can throughout the course of the year, so they're not going to be very quick turnaround type builds, as I mentioned earlier in the video. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for supporting this journey. Thank you for just being a part of my journey as I walked in and out of this guitar step. And again, I'm trying not to get too, as a forward thinker, I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself right now, but I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I enjoy and that I'm passionate about. And really all of these elements of what we've created here at Porter are really important to me, and they really mean a lot to me and to the people that work here. So that's what we want to do going forward. We want to really pursue those type of things. We want to chase those type of things. And I think ultimately that gives us more satisfaction and fulfillment in our work, and also our passions get put into the products that we're creating. In the last few years, there's been a lot of plugging of holes and filling of gaps, and I think that hasn't been as enjoyable as doing the products that we set out to make. And now everyone had to get creative in the last few years, and I think we're kind of coming out of that season and really getting back to the core of what Porter is all about. So I'm excited about it. I really thank you for taking the time to watch this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for those who are being a part of this channel. We're going to be putting a lot more stuff on here as well. And I thank you guys for your support. We'll catch you soon.